Hello everyone, I am Terry Hartley at Rustic Barn Cards, independent Stampin'Up demonstrator coming to you from Iowa. It's Tuesday, December the 17th, 1 p.m. Central. I am not live. I'm actually recording this and scheduling it to go out at my regular time, which is every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central. Today, we're going to make a sympathy card. I'm going to assume, since it's the 17th of December, you are addressing your Christmas cards if you don't already have them sent out, or you are finishing the last few. So we're not doing any more Christmas theme cards for the rest of the month of December. And actually, today will be my last video for December of 2024. I do not plan to come next Tuesday, which would be the 24th, the day before Christmas, Christmas Eve day, or the following Tuesday, which is New Year's Eve day. It's not to say that I won't pop in sometime in the next 2 weeks, but I know I won't be here on the 24th and the 31st, but I might try to pop in a couple times in the next 2 weeks. All right, as I mentioned, we're going to make a sympathy card, and this is one of the cards that we created for my monthly card class. And I held an in-person monthly card class, which I do each month, except for just a few the winter months, because you never know in Iowa what the weather's going to be like, right? And since I do not hold my in-person classes here at my home, I have to rent a space. Then I don't want to have that all rented and set up, and then the weather causes us not to be able to meet. And so I'm already looking forward to when we can meet again in a couple of months for in-person. But I do have a card class to go, which I will tell you about, and everyone is able to take advantage of this, whether you live close or whether you live far away from me. All right, let me go ahead and turn the camera down, and we will get started. Okay, well, I hope this finds everyone fine. I know it is a busy, busy time of the year. I cannot believe that December is halfway over, and actually, next week is Christmas. So I'm not here today. My husband had his first cataract surgery the first week of December, and we are gone today and tomorrow because he is going to have his second cataract surgery, and I hope that it goes as well as his first surgery. Okay, and as I mentioned, in January, I'm going to have my monthly card class to go. You can sign up right now through January 3rd. I'm calling it It's Love on the Go, and I'm using the Hearts of Elegance bundle. So I'm using the Hearts of Elegance bundle and dies, and this class, you will make 3 cards. You'll have envelopes. You will receive over $20 of product, a recipe card, and a video. So the porch pickup the cost is $22. For me to mail it to you is $28. So this is kind of a special card class to go, because I don't normally in my monthly card classes put product, but you will have $20 of product in your kit, and you'll have extra to make more projects with. So again, I'm going to be using this Hearts of Elegance bundle, which is an online exclusive. Now, the stamp set and dies are not part of the class, but you may order them as an add-on. And if you are observant, I just switched this out because this flyer has the QR code, and so you can email me, which if you would like to take this class, or you can use the QR code also. And again, the last day to sign up for my January Love on Love on the Go class is January 3rd. And you can read more about it in the description. Again, you sign up on the 3rd. Porch pickup begins on January 10th, and I mail them out on the 11th of January. So that's what I have coming up, a card class to go for January. I also am going to have a catalog launch, and I'm planning that for Monday, January 6th and 7th. And if you're on my email list, you'll get all the details. And if you're not on my email list, why not sign up? There's a link in the description. All right, well, today we're going to be using not the Sketch Butterflies stamp set, but we're going to be using the dies for our card. And we are going to be using this die right here, this butterfly die. We are also going to be using Autumn Leaves dies. The Autumn Leaves, there's a stamp set, but I'm just using the dies, and it is in the annual catalog. And we are going to use this die here. What I love about these dies of the Autumn Leaves is that you have 2 of the same. So if you're making multiple cards, you can die cut 2 at the same time. And how great is that? We will be using an embossing folder, and that is one of our large ones, and this is the Swirly, So Swirly, I believe it's called, So Swirly. So let's go ahead, let me show you the card, and we'll get started. But before we do that, we are using a stamp set. We're going to be using Kindest Expressions, and we're using it with Sympathy, and you have Sending Sunshine and Rainbows, Thanks So Much, Oh Happy Day. And the order number for this is 161415. Again, 161415. Because I really like all these sentiments in the Kindest Expressions. So here is the card that we're going to make today. And we're going to make this card. It is just kind of simple and simplistic, but I think it's very elegant with the white and then a little bit of gray. We're using smoky slate, and let me go ahead and we will bring in the pieces that we need. I have already embossed and have everything ready, so we can make a quick card today. So you will start out with a basic white. I like to use thick for my card bases, and this is 8.5 by 5.5, and it is scored at 4 1/4. And then I just fold it over, and you can press that with your finger, but I really do like to bring in my bone folder and give it a good crease. And then I'm going to bring in the basic white, and this is 5 1/4 by 4, and I have embossed it with the So Swirly, I think it's called, embossing folder. And then we are going to take our little strip of smoky slate, and we're going to add that. About in the middle. And you really don't have to put, you can put like a whole line, but you don't need to. You don't need to use very much adhesive. So I'm just going to kind of eye it, maybe put just a little bit less than, a little bit below the halfway mark I'm trying to say. I'm going to make sure this is all even here. And then sometimes I'll make these strips just a little bit longer, because I would rather them be a little bit long than too short, because you can always bring in your snips if you need to, and you can turn it over, and then you can just cut that off. And then we're going to go ahead, we're going to add this layer to our card base. So add some adhesive. And you can use either side of the embossed or embossed. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to try to line this up the best I can, as straight as I can. Then I'm going to lay that aside, and we're going to bring in this label. And this label is from Seasons of Greeting. Actually, it's Greetings of the Season dies. I always get that turned around. It's Greetings of the Season dies. And a lot of the dies in here, they will have, they're like, you can make tags with them because they have the opening for tags. But this particular one doesn't. And so that's the one that we're going to use. And I've already die cut this out. But we should get the right one because this is not the one that fits that. So this is for a tag. We're going to use, so here it is. So you just lay that on a piece of basic white and run that through your cut and emboss, and it cuts this out. And then sometimes you do have a little bit of basic white that stays in your die, and you can just take the pokey end of your take your pick tool or something to go ahead and poke that out. And then we're going to do a little stamping. So I'm going to bring in our smoky slate. And I've already stamped up with Sympathy. Now I'm going to show you a couple other things. I'm going to show you another card and change it up just a little bit. So here we're going to just go ahead and stamp. Straight down and straight up. And then I'm going to bring in this leaf that I've already die cut out from the autumn leaves. And bring in some glue dots. And I'm going to pick up this glue dot. Now you can put it on the back of your label, but I think I am going to just go ahead and I'm going to place it right here on my leaf. So about right here. And then I can go ahead and put that kind of like I want right there. So it's going to go in the front of the leaf because you're going to tuck it behind. And then I'm going to turn this over and bring in some dimensionals. Now you could pop up the leaf, but I am not going to do that. I'm just going to add some adhesive to that leaf, or you really wouldn't even, I don't think you really need to, but I might add just a little bit so it'll make sure it stays down. And we'll bring our card base back in. So here's our card base, and let's go ahead and just add a little bit of adhesive, just little dots like that, and then we will place that trying to get the same amount of space on each side, and then get this about in the middle. Maybe we do need to add a dimensional. That's not really laying like I want it to, so let's go ahead and put a dimensional underneath that leaf. I think that's better, don't you? All right, now we're going to bring our butterfly in, and I don't want it to cover up the sentiment, so you can bring your sentiment over a little bit, but I think we can just go ahead and bring our butterfly so it won't cover it up. I'm going to pick up another glue dot, and I'm going to place that on my card where I want my butterfly to be. So I'm going to place that about right here. And you can always curl up the leaves, not leaves, but the wings of your butterfly. And then we'll bring in some embellishments. These are basic gray and smoky slate. And I'm just going to pick up one and place it right here. And then here is our first card with Sympathy, quick and easy to make. For my in-person card class, I did give them a choice, and I'll just show that to you, where you could emboss. So you could use embossing powder to emboss the with Sympathy, and notice that it's a little bit darker than the one that we stamped. So, and here I use the Jersey gems that kind of sparkle. But then I wanted to show you what I love about getting together with my stamping friends in person, and of course with you right here, is all the ideas that everyone has. So we were making these cards, and let me show you another couple ideas that we could do when making this card. So I'm going to be bringing in our embossed piece and our butterfly and our leaf. And I'm going to bring in smoky slate ink, and I'm going to be bringing in a blending brush. So this is what one of the ladies in the class came up with, and I loved it. And so one person decided to just color the butterfly and the leaf with the blending brush, and we use a blending brush. Just do that in circles. Make sure you take off the little extra there on a scratch paper, and then you can just add color to your leaf. And then the same thing with the butterfly. I think the smoky slate has a little bit of a green tint to it, it seems like. So you could try basic gray if you wanted to do that, or gray granite. Let's just bring in a little gray granite and add that on top of our smoky slate. I kind of like that. So we'll pick up some more. Turn that around. And then let's go ahead, and another person decided to add ink to their embossed layer, which you can do too. So I just love all of these ideas. So you're going to have several ideas if you decide to make this card. So I'm using gray granite right now. I like to hold my hand so I have a good grip of the brush. I'm just going to kind of turn that around this way. And you can decide how dark, you know, the more that you add, then the darker it gets. I think that is fine. Let's go ahead and let's just use gray granite for a change. And let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment. With Sympathy. And I'm going to move it over to the right just a little bit more so my butterfly won't be in the way of my sentiment. Lay that aside. And then we are going to go ahead and bring in our basic white card base. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere this. And then we'll look at all 3 cards. And again, you could add more ink if you wanted to make this a little even more darker than that I have done. And let me see what I did with the strip. Here it is. So it's a little bit different because we did change from smoky slate to gray granite. And this strip is gray granite. Now, if it's too long, I'm not going to be able to cut that off, am I? Because I put that layer on first. But it looks like this is going to be just the right length. So that's good. That is good. Now, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to bring in my glue dots. I'm going to pick one up. And then we'll get the leaf and we'll put that right on the front. And then I'll place that here. We're going to turn this over and add our dimensionals. And I think we're going to try to get by with 3. Well, I guess 4, because we're going to put 1 on the leaf. Take the backings off. And we'll put that right here. Then we'll get our butterfly. And again, I like to bring in the glue dots, and I'm going to put that right on the label here because I think we have enough room. And we can turn it this way, but nope, looks like we're going to turn it this way. So I am going to then come in. I'm going to hold this down. And you could curl these butterfly wings up before you place it on your card. Now, let's go ahead and get the Jersey gems just for something different. And I'm going to use the small one. And I'm going to add it right there. So here we have added a little bit of color with our blending brush. And maybe you want to just color the leaf and the butterfly and not the embossed layer. So here is one card. Here is the card, the sample card, and the one that we made together. And then here is the one with the embossed sentiment with sympathy. So you can let me know which of these three that you like the best. Do you like the embossed with sympathy? Do you like the one that the first card that we made together? Or do you like where we added a little color to the embossed piece and the leaf and the butterfly? So they're quick and easy. I now have 4 sympathy cards to add to my stash. So when I need a sympathy card, then I can go and choose one. Because one never knows when you need one, unfortunately. Thank you for watching. I'm Terry Hartley at Rustic Barn Cards. Again, I will be taking a couple weeks break during the holiday season. I hope all of you have a wonderful holiday season. I will try to pop in off and on because I miss all of you. Take care. Bye for now. I'll see you soon.